Alright, it has been a long day working and being awesome. So
Just
I
on
am
Slayer.
just gonna speed run a few maps. One of the things I am weaker at is
I know this
speed
sound.
running maps. Typically I run maps nice and slow, picking up all the loot. But I'm gonna just, give it a shot.
Still
Blast through
alive,
these Kurak
exile.
missions, because I got a lot of them.
For now.
And try to get some good stuff, good bosses, so I can do some boss content and not have to pay for it, because that shit's expensive. Content obviously gonna slow me down, so I think I'm gonna go turn it off. And just picking up loot. Modified the build from the intro to reduce a frenzy charge so I can use haste again to go super fast. These would go a lot faster if I had all these maps memorized, but I do not. Memorization and improvements require deliberate action. You can't just run the same map over and over mindlessly and memorize the map. Much like playing a video game, if you don't actively strive to improve at said video game, you will not improve at said video game. This must be a no cannot leech from monsters map. I got the cure to that. I don't even know how good the head support is. Probably sucks. I don't know how it got altered with the new League mechanic. Arch Nemesis. Might be that I run without it the entire time.
Just need a moment.
Lock off all the content. And we'll just put it here so I don't have to see it telling me that I need to get rid of it. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave life tap on. Nah, I'll put the head back on. Why not? It's easy to switch it. Alright, see?
Long day.
Not... Oh, let's, put this to number 5. Obviously not very
That's the
good at
trail.
speed running. Alright, speed run. Delirium
I
map.
know this sounds mad,
More life.
but a
Cannot
sinister
leech. Fuck, I
voice
cannot
whispered
leech.
in
Shit.
my ear not long ago, requesting you. Tane
Like
is already in the
Metamorph.
region doing research.
Less
mentioned
regen. I
meeting-
should be able to do that. Need catalyst, and I have none, so Metamorph seems like a good idea. Unless you're into me attempting to speedrun, I'd advise you leave this video. It is late. Dog is tired. I am tired. This is gonna be a very lethargic stream. With not a lot of energy. Not a lot of good conversation. It's weird to call me talking one way into a mic conversation. But I guess that's what it is. Oh shit. You ever realize sometimes you're an idiot? I rarely realize it. I always am an idiot. But I just now realized I'm an idiot because I'm doing... Okay. Whatever that douche's name, I'm doing his missions. And my shit doesn't matter. None of that applies. Correct. None of my changes that I just made. I'm trying to remember the, none of my Atlas changes matter. Correct. So I just wasted a little bit of time there.
Godslayer.
Breaches are fast.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Actually, let's go even crazier. Let's get fucking nuts. Let's get wild. What am I gonna get? I don't need this one.
Hail, Godslayer.
Fast as fuck, boys. Breaches aren't fast. They don't populate a lot of enemies. And you can't pop multiple breaches. I mistook these breaches for the breaches in the mirror zone, which are pretty fantastic. I stopped doing the mirror zone. Apparently they buffed it, but maybe a little too late. Breaches is dead. Too slow.
Godslayer?
Boom, Phoenix.
Fading echoes of power still resonate in this map.
One of my captors refused redemption. He does not seem to surrounds him.
Fair bit of hunting in my time. And for me, there ain't nothing more fun than shooting birds with a shotgun.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Back where I'm from, middle of fucking nowhere. Dove season comes around about November. Go out there with the over and under. Find a good watering hole for them to water on. Fly by. Pop it up. Get your limit. Stick your finger in that butt, rip them in half, pull them breast out. Put that shit on a barbecue. Barbecue dove. You're fucking good. That may seem like a non sequitur, but if you're retarded, your brain works in weird ways. I am fighting a bird phoenix boss. Therefore, I talked about hunting birds. Did not realize that you were not on board with my train of thought until I finished said train of thought. Oh shit. Oh, I survived it. So now you are clued in with what I was thinking when I said bird hunting was fun. Not always fun, though. At one time I was out duck hunting. Duck hunting happens a lot more towards February and July. I mean, not July. February and January. And it'd be cold as a motherfucker. And ducks hang out where it's wet. So your hands are usually wet. Numb. Furiously numb. 15 degrees Fahrenheit. In case there's any non-Americans here. And your hands are cold as shit. And you can't feel your hands. And you typically use 3-inch mags. I was using BB shot. And my shell got jammed in my semi-auto shotgun. And on the side of this semi-auto shotgun, there's a button that locks the, I don't know what they call that. Gun user, but not an expert. I'm gonna call it the piston that loads the bullet. That ain't what it is, but it kind of looks like a piston. The chamber of sins. We go Harry Potter up in this bitch. That stays open when you rack it. And then the button will load it. So my shell expanded and was jammed in the shotgun. So I racked it open. Hands are numb. I'm trying to get this shell out of this shotgun. And so I have the shotgun sideways and my thumb's in there. Trying to get my tip of my thumb to wedge underneath the shotgun shell to pry the shell out. And as I'm doing that, my knee hits the button to rack it. And that rack comes down on my thumb, breaking it open, shattering my thumbnail. I lose the entire thumbnail. I'm bleeding. I'm in pain. I'm a child, so I can't drive home. I have to fucking tough it out. Cold as fuck. Bloody thumb. That's the story. Duck hunting. Quite fun, though. Only problem with duck hunting, though. Ducks are tough sons of bitches. You don't always kill a duck when you shoot a duck. And when you shoot a dove and it's kind of wounded, you just stick the dove's head between your two fingers and you shake it. The head falls right off. And then you put your dove in your dove bag. A duck, a lot harder to kill. So the first few times I went duck hunting, the thing was just wounded and you have to try to put it out of its misery. And it's kind of difficult to do. You can't shoot it again. Those shotgun shells, those 3-inch mag, BB loads are expensive and you're going to ruin the meat. So you got to try to fucking do something to get rid of this head. First few times you just bang it, shotgun, the butt of the shotgun, you just crush its skull and then, got your duck for some food. But then I started to get smaller and just carried a knife with me. And you just cut the head off. Super easy. But you can't rip it off. Their neck way too strong unless you're some kind of fucking Hulk Hogan. Yeah, metamorph. Yeah, but my thumb was fucked up. I can't count how many days or months or years. Time's different when you're like 14. But it was pretty fucked up for a long time. It was all black. It had to grow in and fall out multiple times before it was fixed. One who is sensitive towards things like hunting could say that it's karma for killing all them ducks. They've obviously never seen a lion. Not to say that I'm a lion, but when you watch a wild animal hunt, you realize that a shotgun blast is mercy in comparison. Especially if you're watching something like a bear or a Komodo dragon. Those things are ruthless and for some reason not very good at killing. At least a puma, a wild cougar on the streets will go for the jugular and kill the animal quickly as one can. A bear don't give a fuck about killing an animal. It will maul it, and it doesn't have very sharp claws. It may tear you up, but that's just more from meat muscle than it is from sharp claws. So bear attacks can be utterly ruthless for hours. I seen a bear attack a deer and spent
Just need a moment
at
to
least
catch my breath.
45 minutes chewing on its ass while the deer was alive. The deer was just hooting and hollering. And the bear gave no fucks about killing it. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna eat your ass. And then it finally either died or just gave up with its hooting and hollering. Hard to say. And, you understand a little bit about anatomy. I don't know if anatomy is the right word. Just some basic truthness. You understand that aside from a few birds, like the crow, and maybe the magpie, or like a parrot, most birds absolutely deserve to die because they are dumb as shit. So if you're gonna eat something, eat a dumbass bird. And I ain't need no sympathy. Dumbass bird. Fish are next on the scale. Fish are dumb as shit. I'm not even sure they have the same pain receptors as regular animals. I only say that from a Nirvana song that says it's okay to eat fish because fish don't have any feelings. So my scientific accurateness on whether fish feel shit is rather limited.
How's
Oh yeah,
the trail?
going fast.
A ghastly influence lingers
Poor
in this land,
Joys.
germinating unknown dangers.
Yeah, poor
Stay
Joys
on
it is.
high alert.
And as I don't hunt so much nowadays, being old and in an unfamiliar environment to which I learned all my hunting skills in. Most traumatizing video I ever seen was on this little website that obviously got taken down because we can't have websites show reality. Little website called Live Leak. Sure, a couple of you older, more risque faces of death watching folk out there know what I'm talking about when I say Live Leak. It's this rural China village. And, poor people do what poor people gotta do to survive, so I ain't hating or being harsh on them. I do the same thing in their shoes, so it's not a matter of, judgment. It's just a matter of, culture clash, I guess.
Just
you could
need a
say.
moment to catch my breath.
But they have a method of eating their dogs where they get a giant pot of water. When I say a giant pot, I mean a pot that a 50, 60 pound dog can fit into. And they call the dog over, who is friendly, like a pet, because that's what dogs have become. Cohorts of humans. And the China person grabs this dog, who is his friend, and is wagging his tail, happy and smiling, throws the dog alive in the boiling water. It screams, as dogs do, and does not die for quite a long time. And as it's boiling alive and screaming, the Chinese man just puts a lid over the top and goes about his business as this dog is screaming and boiling alive. That's not something I can abide, simply because dogs are no longer wild animals, and killing them in that manner is extremely cruel. I say dogs are not wild animals because they've been with humans for so long that we have bred them out of their natural state. Not the same for a house cat. A house cat is in its natural state. There's a few that we've kind of altered slightly, but it's completely different from a dog. Dog no longer has that wolf instinct. Well, it has a little bit of wolf instinct. I'd be foolish to say otherwise. But it different. And when people eat dogs and are cruel to dogs, it hit a little different than shooting a duck. A wild duck. 'Cause that wild duck gonna get eaten by something. Might as well be a hungry me. So that was the most traumatizing video I have ever seen in my life. Which is awkward to think about, because I've seen many videos of humans dying. I've seen humans dying in real life as well. And somehow a dog being boiled to death is far more traumatizing than some of the human shit I've seen, including humans being boiled to death. So that's a weird thing to think about. Some people say that the animal lovers are absolutely psychopathic, and they prioritize animal lives far above humans. It's rumored that Hitler was a huge animal lover, and look how that turned out. I ain't gonna say that claim to be true, but there is something about the devaluing of human life and the overvaluing of pet life, especially amongst city folk.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Could be that animals kind of represent innocence, much like
That's the trail.
children or youth. What do we metamorph again?
Tane is already.
Because a lot of people have never met an asshole animal. They've only met the pets that they've adored their entire life, having been attacked by 4 different dogs, stalked by 2 mountain lions, trapped on a rock, surrounded by javelina. I've had my fair share of asshole animal encounters. Got a nice little scar on my pinky from when I was riding my bike and got attacked by a dog, ripped off my bike, and it's gnawing on my hand. Back in my day, they had these things, I don't know, maybe they have them nowadays, but it was when pegs on bikes were brand new. So I had this Diamondback bike, pegs, and by I did not. One of my friends had, because my family was incredibly poor, so we could not afford things like bikes. But my friend had a Diamondback bike, which I guess was the premium kind of bike back in the day, because everyone was jealous of his bike, and he was letting me ride it. So this dog's gnawing on my hand. It's starting to look fleshy. Starting to see a little bit of flesh from this hand, so I grabbed a bike by the pedal, and I fling it, whacking the dog with the peg. I didn't mean the dog no harm, but it just happened to land in the perfectly right spot on the head. That dog be dead. The owner, you would think, would have the audacity to yell at me. It was an older lady. She comes out and asks if I'm alright, and applies dressing to my hand after I just done did kill her dog. That level of reasonableness doesn't truly exist that often in society. I don't know if that's just because we come from a small country town, or the fact that, you know, maybe she didn't want to get sued. But, I think if in the city, if a dog attacked a kid And the kid defended himself by swinging his bike, striking the dog's head with the peg. I do not think it would be as calm as that situation was. Should really learn to pop these
Just
things,
need a moment to catch my
kill these bosses a little faster. Do they not drop catalyst? I thought they dropped
Godslayer.
catalyst. Ooh, waste pool. I love a waste pool. Find a rare map in a waste pool. Make sure it ain't got nothing good. Oh, steel frenzy charges. Smoker's cash. Strong box. We'll do some
By
assets.
all reports, this area.
If you ever out been in the desert, they have these little cactus. Barrow cactus, they call them. They rarely get higher than chest high. They're typically right about where your dick is. In small towns in the desert, when you do something like re-roof your house and you got all that roofing material, you typically just drive out into the desert and you just toss it. There's a big old pile of roofing material. Looks like they re-roofed maybe 3 or 4 houses and stuck it all in this pile. And me and my jackass friends are out there shooting some SKSs and, you know, AKs and shit. And, we're bored. I'm 15, I think. 16, 'cause I think one of us drove there. No, one of us did not drive there. It was a long walk, about a mile, to this little shooting spot we used to go shooting at. And there's just all these roofing materials, so we decided it'd be a good idea to light that shit on fire. I ain't never seen a fire that big in my life. I've had some pretty big bonfires where, you know, you can't stand any closer than maybe 20 feet. It starts to hurt your skin a little too much. You play the game where you try to run as close to the fire as possible. Well, this son bitch lit right up. And it's the desert, so, you know, there's no risk of, like, a brush fire or a forest fire. It's a legit desert. And they ain't done around. Maybe a couple creosote bushes, which actually aren't called creosote bushes. Creosote is actually the name of the smell that the bush produces when it rains in the desert. But maybe, you know, 1 or 2 mesquite trees and a couple creosote bushes. Nothing serious, so we were at least responsible in that regard. So this motherfucker lights up. I'm not good with size, but flames quite high. About a mile, maybe 2 from the nearest main building. Probably 3 miles from the closest house. So we are a ways away from civilization. But this fire is so big that the small town
Hail
closest to
Godslayer.
where we were could easily see this fire from the distance.
Long day.
So we see sirens coming. We don't want to get in trouble for catching these roofs on fire. I doubt they would have did anything.
job
Maybe yelled at
never
us a
ends.
little bit, but they might have been reasonable folk. Kids out there, we weren't what you would call
I know this
druggy
sounds mad,
kids. We were just
but as
bored
soon
and
as
catching shit on fire. We
One
weren't
of my
really
men-
doing
the
anything
map ahead
illegal
appears to be-
besides extreme.
Kalgurans have been working
arson.
in this. One of our
I don't know if it's arson, if
Kalgurans
it's
have been
abandoned
working in this region.
abandoned
I
roofing.
think they're ready for your expertise.
So we bust out running.
Go see if you can't unearth something interesting.
And I'm booking it. Absolutely full speed. In the middle of the desert. It was a full moon, so you could see pretty fucking good. And
By all reports,
hauling
this-
ass, and I'm scanning in front of me so I don't run into anything. I'm probably looking maybe 15 to 20 feet in front of me, just doing like a little scan as I'm sprinting through the desert. And again, it's a pretty empty desert. There ain't much there, so you can really book it. I was going full speed. It was a sprint, not a run. Because when, you know, you're moving, you kind of got like, I guess maybe 4 stages. You got the regular walk, then you got the gimpy jog. That's like a 5 to 6 mile an hour jog, kind of like a little gimpy jog. And then you got your max speed jog, which is the jog that's just before a run. Then you have your run, which is just a hair below sprinting. So if you're trying to do that mile, trying to get your best time on a mile, you're going to be doing a run, not a sprint. You can't sprint an entire mile. Sprint is reserved for the 100-yard dash, the 40-yard dash, that kind of bullshit. So I'm doing full-on sprint, maxing out as quick as I can go, and I hit this barrel cactus. Hit it first with the tip of my toe. Needles. These aren't like regular cactus needles. If you've never had a barrel cactus, they're thick and wide, almost like a really hard linguine pasta. Kind of barbed too. So my toes hit this fucking barrel cactus. Shoots right through my shoes, into my feet. No big deal. I mean, the things were mostly fucked up by then anyways. But then my body slowly, and by slowly I mean instantly, but the pain and the situation had my senses heightened. So it felt a lot slower than it actually was. My body folds over this burrow cactus. Cactus needles stabbing thick into my thighs, into my belly, as I roll over this burrow cactus. And I would have thought back in the day that me running full sprint I was a light little fuck, so I was probably 118 pounds at the time. But I would have thought me running full-on sprint into this burrow cactus would cause the cactus some discomfort. But the cactus gave zero fucks about my presence. Gave zero fucks over the fact that I ran into it and folded over it like a rag doll at my maximum speed, which was quite considerable at the time. And I was covered in cactus holes. My skin had a bunch of holes in it that were bleeding profusely from this fucking burrow cactus. Quite certain one of them was a little puncture to my femoral artery. That's the one on the leg, right? One right by the dick, on the inside of the thigh. Because that motherfucker left a pool of blood in my sock. By the time we got back to the house, it had mostly stopped all on its own. But that could have been a dangerous situation. Luckily, it was just a puncture and not a slash, and I believe arteries with the pressure can cure a puncture pretty easily, especially a minor one like that. But I didn't even get it that bad. We all run back to the house. It was about a mile away from where we were. And one of our friends, tall, lanky motherfucker, about 6'2", which is tall to a 5'7" fuck off like myself. One of our tall, lanky motherfucking friends ran into a barbed wire fence with his leg. And not like a regular, oh, I ran into a barbed wire fence and folded over it like I did. His leg went over the bottom barbed wire fence, and his knee went on one side. It's hard to explain, but he twisted up into the barbed wire fence on his leg. Because he didn't just hit it, he managed to, like, it's hard to explain. I never realized how hard it is. I never told this story before, so it's kind of hard to explain how to explain this. You got two poles. The foot goes on the right side of one pole, and the thigh is on the left side. And then it twists, so then the thigh pushes the barbed wire fence to the right, and then the foot pushes the barbed wire fence to the left, twisting it around his leg. And as he fell forward, it twisted a full 360. So this barbed wire fence, which has tight tension, is twisted up on his leg, between his knee and his foot, his shin area. And he's stuck. He's fucking stuck. He can't undo it. He can't get out. And a barbed wire fence is fucking this boy up. So we all get home and we're focused on all of our other injuries. Mine, a bunch of other people ran into some shit in the desert. Dude hyperextended his knee. We're all fucked up. We're not really paying that much attention to the fact that, you know, tall, lanky motherfucker ain't with us. We finally start to catch on about 20 minutes later. We're like, dude, Jacob ain't back. Wonder if he got caught by the cops. And then we're like, I think they would have come and let us know by now. Oh, fuck, I said that guy's name, didn't I? Oh, shit. Just pretend I didn't to the 20 people who listen. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of those names out there. It could be anyone, right? I'll find the rare map again. Anywho, so we go out looking for him. We're just walking around and we kind of start to head back to where the fire still burning bright is. And you don't see nothing. We're walking. We get to the top of this little hill where the fence was. I kind of hear him like, hey. It's like kind of like half whispering because he doesn't know it's us. And we hear him. We walk over there. He's fucking stuck. And we ain't got no flashlights because we're fucking idiots. And we got full moonlight, which is pretty bright in the desert. You know, our eyes have acclimated. We're basically like little kitty cats. Oh, look at that. We got some extra energy shielding. So that behead does work for that. We're like little kitty cats, and we can see pretty well, but with our bare hands, we ain't have no way to get his leg untwisted from this fucking barbed wire. And his pants, he's wearing jeans, and these fucking jeans are all caught up in it too, so it's like mangled flesh and jeans all caught up in this fucking wire, and we can't get it out. So we gotta leave that motherfucker there while we go get wire cutters to cut his ass out from this barbed wire fence. And then being responsible, you know, cattle folk who understand cattle, we then proceeded to redo the barbed wire fence and tie it back together so the fence wasn't busted up. And so, you know, cows wouldn't get loose and we'd get in more trouble because we got cows loose. It's one thing to burn a roof that ain't no one got. It's another thing to get some high-value cows loose from their fucking sections. So anyways, we repair this fence up. We get back. His leg's all fucked up. And that dude, I think he's too tall for, like, his body. Some people, they're good-looking 6'2". Like, everything's kind of even. But he like a lanky 6'2". And you always see him in there to hurt himself because he's fucking lanky as shit. One time he go bungee jumping. And he gets scared. I don't blame him. I ain't doing no bungee jumping. I respect my life. And he doing himself some bungee jumping. He gets scared. So he tries to grab the bungee cable as it's falling. And he gets some rope burn vicious. I ain't never seen no rope burn like this, but it tore all from his like collarbone all the way down to his hip. That's where the rope hit, and it spun him, and it just burnt the shit out of this boy. And he got several stories of him fucking himself up and other people around him. I don't know if he can't control his body right, what, but it's pretty fucking nuts. Pretty fucking nuts. I'm trying to stay awake as long as I can because if I lay in that bed and I ain't fully tired, I'm gonna get my late at night second wind and not go to sleep at all. I get that all the time if I lay in bed too soon. But luckily the winter is coming, so it's nice and cold. I got thick blankets. I'm able to fall asleep a lot easier in the ultra cold weather. Moved out of the desert for that specific reason. Desert hot as fuck, and as I was saying, can't take the heat. Get the fuck out of the desert. Pretty sure that's how the saying goes. Women say it to other women about like when they're like cooking and shit. They're next to the oven and they're like, can't stand the heat. Get out of the desert. And so I fucking did it. At the time I was living in this fucking beautiful place that's a shithole that's both shithole and fantastic at the same time, called Phoenix, Arizona. And it was hotter than a bugger. 118 the day I left on out of there and moved to woods in the middle of nowhere. And I ain't really regretted it since. 70-degree summers and 40-degree winters are better than 120-degree summers and 40-degree winters. I mean, Phoenix isn't usually 40 degrees, but if you get outside of Phoenix in the desert, you get some very cold temperatures, especially Flagstaff, which is a been to quite a few cities, and I rate Flagstaff as #1 worst city for weather. I knew a special lady who went up to NAU, which is a college up in northern Arizona. It was spring break. It was 75 degrees. It was pretty nice. People were sun tanning. You know, everything was going, you know, groovy.
Long day.
Out of fucking nowhere, it starts snowing. Temp drops to about -10 once the sun drops. So it went from 70 to -10 because the elevation is like 8,000 feet. That shit, pretty whack. But I thought that was cold. You know, -10. There wasn't any wind chill, but it was just pretty fucking chill. But I did not really understand what cold meant until February in Chicago. Now, being an Arizona boy, and that being probably one of the colder experiences I've had, I guess we'll complete the monolith. Oh, steel frenzies.
You'll have to be careful in
Complete
this
the
one.
abyss. Chicago
Just need
in February. I ain't never been to Chicago. My first time going to Chicago. I'm a young buck. I got me a 2-piece, thin, silk, gold suit. I mean, shining gold. I'm going to the manliest type of event you can ever think of. A Final Fantasy musical concert at Chicago. Oh, what was the name of that venue? It was next to the O'Hare Airport. I cannot remember the name of the venue. It was so long ago. And the event ends at about midnight. We're waiting for some type of physical transportation. And it is cold, it is windy, and I am not dressed for this occasion. A thin, gold, 2-piece suit in Arizona, even in the cold, that's gonna keep you pretty warm. You know, that's enough. Chicago, I don't know the temp. I didn't look at the temp. February, Chicago, very cold night, good fucking breeze cooking. You can look up them temps. I'm guessing, you know, -10, -20, and not including wind chill, because I don't want to include wind chill. That's some fucking bullshit. People always say, like, oh, it's 120 degrees if you include the humidity. Well, that means it ain't 120 degrees. That means it's whatever the real temperature is, and you just a bitch. Anyways, so no wind chill. And I'm freezing my fucking balls off. And honestly, at the time, I was probably 130 pounds. Solid muscle. I was quite the almost Bruce Lee-ish figure. If you got rid of Bruce Lee's lats, that motherfucker got some lats like you cannot believe, and I did not have that. Nor did I have the back physique. But the arms and the chest, you know, I only worked the core. Fucked all that other shit. That was about the same. I don't know, body fat, but it was very low. Very skinny. Very thin. Very muscular. And I think I was close to death. Really do think I was close to death. Maybe not death, but hypothermia. I was fucking close. We were there for probably 30 minutes waiting for a taxi. And I was doing jumping jacks and squats and push-ups, trying to keep that body heat up. But fuck, man. That wrote Chicago off of my list as to places to live immediately. Oh, fuck Harbinger. I swear that's the only one I fuck. I think I got like 3 Harbingers in here. I think I might have ran a couple. Find it and put it. Oh, no, I'm trying to go fast here.
Long day.
So yeah, Chicago, terrible place to live because of the cold. Some people might like that kind of thing, but I don't get it. That's a huge fucking no for me. That's a no for me, dog. And I understand there's places even colder than that. Like, I think some places in like Wyoming, fucking North Dakota, South Dakota, that shit might even get colder. I don't know. Maybe because Chicago low and those places are high, but I don't get it. That shit is way too cold. And then I'm stuck in a pickle. Not really a pickle. An artificial pickle. if I had to choose between really cold with fuck tons of snow or really hot like Phoenix, what would I pick? Phoenix got AC units. You're basically stuck inside all summer long. We'd play basketball at like 2 in the morning. It was still 90 to 100 degrees. But that was pretty acceptable. Don't think the cold wins. So I do think the heat wins. But then you got global warming, climate change, whatever you want to call it. That shit be heating up the planet, regardless of the causes. And 20 years, maybe Phoenix is a degree warmer. Maybe that makes a pretty good difference. Maybe Chicago is a degree warmer. Maybe that'll sway things a little. But as it stands right now, I'm giving that point to Phoenix. Got 2 good maps out of that. 2 thick boys. But I think I can end this whole stream. Stuff. I can end this whole stream on a fuckwit. Let's kill a little fuckwit with this frenzy build. Let's see. Behead support, not gonna need you. Melee splash, not really gonna need you. Ancestral Call, not gonna use you. Let's get Withering Touch. Let's get Awaken Melee Fizz. Let's get Increased Crit. Actually, I don't think Increased Crit's the one way to go. What do we got? See, I just can't map fast. I mean, maybe. I'm feeling that's probably better than that. Really should clean this shit up. I was supposed to be done with the league, but started playing a new game called Dio Field Tactics. It's kind of a fucking bust. Not exactly the best kind of game that I ever played. I am looking for a poison. It ain't there. Wait, it was there. Vile Toxin. I think that might be better. But I'll just keep it. I don't know for sure. Make sure I got. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Let us fuck this boy up. I forgot whatever conversation I was having. I'm getting quite tired. Had to wake up early for work today.
Did you really think this would work?
Cirrus, please, we want to help you. Don't do anything hasty.
Destroying you is as easy as flicking a pest.
Shut up!
Kirak!
Basically humping them with
How
these little
boring and small.
cocks popping out of the ground.
You want the Atlas?
You
Take
want my
it.
cock?
It's yours. But Orith, I will burn to the ground.
Red rocket. Give you the red
Perhaps
rocket.
The suffering of my fellow citizens will finally stir something.
I don't really understand what that means. Is Xanis a fucking sociopath? And she can't stir something normally? She has to kill people? She's just sitting there like
What's this?
stoic
A
and
real
shit.
challenge. You've finally caught my attention.
Die.
Oh shit. He's already faced. Some internet jabrownie said he talks 3 times and I can run in. 1 talk.
You are nothing.
2 talk.
Creation
3 talk.
itself. Reign of stars.
That's 4
The others
talk.
found
Maybe I can go
strength
in
their
after the 3rd.
projections. They became reliant on them. I am not so foolish.
I have seen beyond.
Die.
Watch.
Oh
you
shit, he
see
phased again.
crumble.
That's some pretty fucking good damage, huh? Maybe I just don't build strong builds very often, and that's not that good of damage.
You are nothing.
1 talk.
Creation
2 talk.
itself.
3 talk.
Glorious
Oh, that talk might kill me.
fury of the cosmos.
Like
Yeah, it looks like it's
really
3 talks you
interesting
go
enough
in, and then he
to
talks
warrant
1 more
all
time.
this pain.
Well, that's some good advice, random YouTube guy who told me this.
Die.
Was when I was running a build that wouldn't have mattered on.
Beyond.
My 4-socketed comms root build.
Die.
Oh, he phasing again.
Beauty crumble.
My 4-socketed comms roots build had no movement speed,
Just need a moment to catch my breath.
Itself.
so I was fucked
Obliteration.
completely the entire time. It did
Fury
not
of
matter.
the cosmos. You are nothing.
The edge of death. My heart.
I think it makes more sense that this guy would drop ashes to the stars, given he's like Fury of the Cosmos, and that's got like stars in it.
Everlasting fire.
Low on mine.
Feel the thrill of
The void.
Charge at him. Come on. Yeah, that was bound to happen with flickies. Bound to happen with the flicky dickies. I'm only using that instead of the green one, because I'm tired of trying to fucking socket the right colors of shit. I use too much gear. A lot of people like solidify their build, but I'm always slightly adjusted, always trying new shit out. So I'm always running low on all the little minor currencies that people probably don't run low on, because they just build the build and then they farm with it. But I think experimentation is the best part of this game. Really hate this this boss. I really hate any kind of mechanic that's not a boss and it's gonna kill you. It's not an enemy, it's just the game, and you're just gonna die. I'm just trying to tell stories and fucking play the game. I don't want to die to some fucking bullshit tornadoes just trying to get back to a boss that killed me in a bullshit fashion because it got a goddamn degen beam prevent me from healing.
Silent. This world is doomed.
you will long for
Non-existence. Everlasting fire.
Yeah, I don't know. Flicker Strike not the best for this boss because of that die beam. I have to play a little smarter. Or I can just fucking take my Frenzy and swap my Flicker Strike. Put that Frenzy right here. Now it's a Frenzy build and not a Flicker Strike build. And let's fuck him up with some Frenzy. Technically, I can go grab a different helmet now, but whatever. I want to pop these things. Oh, almost did it again. That's a pretty tight squeeze.
Beyond, there is only horror. Everlasting fire.
Just need a moment to catch
you
my breath.
will long for
Non-existence. Die.
Damn, that was quite a bit of damage. He got fucked like a nerd. Medium. I think medium's dog shit.
Sorry. promise this was all my fault. I'm sorry.
Oh. Wonder if I can just highlight it. Oh, yeah. Dog shit there. Oh, he's poison. But dog shit. Dog shit. Dog shit. And a price. Not bad. It's probably more like 30 chaos. These guys are probably all AFK bullshit. I'll put up 30. Alright, well, this motherfucker, he going to bed. List it and go to sleep.